Hi guys, it's Mega Kaiju update time. That's right, we've got Godzilla, we've got Gamera, and we've got King Kong in my update. I thought I would do a separate video just looking at these Blu-rays that turned up eventually after a little bit of a wait recently before I move into my next major Blu-ray update. So obviously, as everybody knows, big new Godzilla movie came out. I've already seen it, I will not be talking about it again, but in the run-up to that coming out, a few Kaiju movies and Godzilla movies and stuff were released on Blu-ray finally. So I bought all the ones that were of any interest to me, which was pretty much all of them. So let's look at the first couple. Now, I haven't had a chance to watch these yet, so what I'm thinking is at some point I'll do a little follow-up video just giving my thoughts on the transfers and if there are any extras, which there aren't really, but giving my thoughts on the actual look and quality of the movies themselves. But here's what I got. First up, Universal brought out two new editions of King Kong vs. Godzilla and King Kong Escapes. It's sort of semi-sequel. So yeah, look, this is a quick cash grab by Universal. You know, as long as you accept that, then you'll be fine with these releases because they're just looking to make a quick buck off the new Godzilla movie. These are just straight up transfers of the movies onto Blu-ray. There's no extras, there's no Japanese cut of King Kong vs. Godzilla. That's never going to happen, really. I mean, they're just not going to bother doing that kind of stuff, you know. Studios and companies have gotten wise to this kind of thing now. You know, they're trying to move away from the home media physical market. They don't see the point in spending money and giving fans what they want when they can just not bother and make a fast buck off of it. Unfortunate as that is. So you've got the American version of King Kong vs. Godzilla and King Kong Escape. So really, they look in terms of packaging, you know, virtually identical to the DVD versions. That's the back there. No new extras at all. I don't even think they have menus on these guys. But the movies are fantastic. Look at Kong there on the cover of King Kong Escapes. Doesn't he look so happy? What a happy wee chappy. I love the Kong in these movies. It's just ridiculous looking Kong in his silly old suit. I've got a lot of affection for these characters. I remember in the monster book I had when I was very young, the few pictures they had of monsters from cinema, they had Jaws, they had Godzilla, and there was also a picture of King Kong plus Mecha Kong as well, and it was years before I realised what that film was that Mecha Kong was from, which is this King Kong Escapes. Both just huge fun. I just want to quickly read the back of King Kong Escapes because I love the description for this. It's King Kong to the rescue when a giant robot threatens to destroy Tokyo and the gripping King Kong escapes. The action begins when the conniving Doctor Who builds a robot Kong in order to retrieve a highly radioactive element for his mysterious benefactor, Madam X. When the robot proves less than reliable, the devious duo scheme to kidnap the real Kong from his remote island home of Mondo. Interfering with their plans are the heroic trio of US Commander Carl Nelson, Lieutenant Jiro Nomura, and Kong's current crush, Lieutenant Susan Miller. It's up to them to outwit the greedy eight nappers in this sci-fi adventure that takes Kong to the unprecedented heights of excitement. That's exactly how I describe this film. This film will take you, the viewer, to unprecedented heights of excitement. I love that description. Yeah, there's a character called Doctor Who in here, and he looks actually just quite similar to the William Hartnell original Doctor, so there's something a little bit weird going on here, a sort of strange, not even tenuous Doctor Who connection. It's kind of odd. Yeah, so great movies. I've had a cursory glance at screen caps. You know, it looks like they're largely a good improvement over the DVD versions. Some scenes on King Kong vs. Godzilla look a little darker, but there's quite a few that look a little bit brighter and have a little more detail. So on the whole, they definitely look like a step up. They're also very nice and cheap as well. So if you like these movies, really should pick them up. And then next up. It just gets better and better. We have got the complete series of the original Showa era Gamera movies. So we have Gamera 4 Movie Collection Volume 1 and Gamera 4 Movie Collection Volume 2, which covers the entire original Gamera series. So in Volume 1 you've got Gamera the Giant Monster, Gamera vs. Barugon, Gamera vs. Gauss, and Gamera vs. Virus. And on 2 you've got Gamera vs. Giron, Gamera vs. Jiger, Gamera vs. Zigra, and Gamera Super Monster, the weird sort of 1980 one that's sort of kind of like a clip show, really. So it's cool that they put that on there as well. So I mean, Gamera is now, everything that Gamera related is now out on Blu-ray, which is fantastic. So yeah, Mill Creek have put these out. They put out some nice looking packages here, nice little slip covers for both. What they've done is they've just put out, as you would expect, it's bare bones. They put out the original Japanese versions of every movie, so available with subtitles. So if you're okay with that, then again, these are great things to pick up, really nice and cheap. The Shout Factory DVDs in some ways are superior in that they have the Japanese versions and the American dub versions, and they have a few extras on them as well, some of them. Featurettes and the like. These aren't present on these Blu-rays, it's just the original Japanese versions of these Gamera movies. If you're into it though, I would say these are well worth the upgrade. Really nice looking from what I can see. You know, I'm not the biggest fan in the world of the original Gamera movies. They are a little repetitive. I'm much more a fan of the original Showa era Godzilla than I am Gamera. I think the 90s Gamera movies are definitely the best ones to get. I mean, if you're interested in picking up some Gamera, get the 90s Gamera trilogy because it is superb and also very, very cheap. But these are really nice little sets from Mill Creek. They've done a nice job for them and a sort of budget price, and you've got all the movies there if you're interested. And you know, Gamera's more of a sort of kid-orientated series, you know, more so than Godzilla. So the Gamera's the kind of thing I would love to stick on for my kids, and I know they would really enjoy them. Yeah, definitely really nice sets, and really happy to now have the complete Gamera collection on Blu-ray. Really very pleased with that. And then finally, that takes us on to the king of the monsters himself. That's right, Godzilla. Now the Godzilla Blu-rays, as well as the American releases, they've also been a series of German Blu-rays released, and they've released the vast majority of the Heisei Millennium series, in fact all of them except Return of Godzilla, on Blu-ray in Germany. Unfortunately, there are no English subtitles on those Blu-rays, it's just the German and Japanese versions of those films, so whilst they are all available and they look superb, lovely artwork, cool black cases, if you don't speak German or Japanese, then, you know, look, I know a lot of you guys can import them and rip your own subs onto them. I don't do that kind of thing, so it's kind of pissed me off. But you got some in the US, that's something. Here in the UK, we have got fuck all Godzilla. We haven't even got the Godzilla movies on DVD. The most we've ever had in the UK is the original 1954 Gojira, King Kong vs. Godzilla, and the 1998 Roald Emmerich film, which isn't even a proper Godzilla film. So really, we've had two Godzilla movies the entire DVD and Blu-ray era. We've had nothing. It's never going to happen, unfortunately. But in the US, we've got some more stuff, and Kraken, releasing a new company, got the rights to 3 Showa era Godzilla films and promptly released them, which is great for me. So first up, one of my absolute favourite Showa era films. It's Abira Horror of the Deep, or as it's also known here, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. It'll always be Abira Horror of the Deep to me. This is one of the ones that I remember watching when I was a kid. There was a few I saw when I was a kid on TV, and then I got the video of later. This was one of them. I love this movie. I know to a lot of people this is one of the lesser Godzilla films. I think it's fantastic. Abira is one of my favourite Godzilla villains. It's just a giant lobster, or prawn if you prefer. I kind of used to think it was a prawn. I guess it's more of a lobster. What's not to love about that? You know, Godzilla's not in it a huge amount, but it's just great fun. I really enjoy it. From everything I've seen on these, Kraken have done a really nice job. As you would expect, there's no real extras on here. You know, you get your English subtitles and the original Japanese versions of the movies, but still, just to have them at all, I'm thankful for anything at this point. I will take anything. So this, and they've used the original poster art as well, which I really like. So this is one of my absolute all-time favourites. I'm really hoping that Kraken or any other company get the rights to the 2 other films that Sony previously had the rights to, which are Son of Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. They're currently kind of in limbo, like they've gone out of print. Nobody else has picked them up. I really hope they get to release them. The other one here is Godzilla vs. Hedorah, or Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, it's also called. Love this one as well. Absolutely mental, just psychedelic, crazy, eco-themed Godzilla film. One of the real memorable standout ones from the Showa era. Really well worth checking out. I really like it. I always liked Hedorah. I thought he was a cool monster. And this is a real favourite of mine. It's sort of terrible, but it's also fantastic. You know, and again, nice original poster art there. I like their little things they put here, you know, at the top. Taglines they came up with their own taglines, which I feel are kind of appropriate to sell them as the kind of cheesy fun movies they are. When the ultimate power of green takes on the menace of unclean, it's Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. And on the back, Hedorah wants to snuff the planet with sludge and toxic gas, but first he's got to fight Godzilla who'll kick his smoggy ass. You gotta love that, eh? What does the one on Sea Monster say? Hang on, let's see. When a South Seas trip turns wet, wild and really weird, it's Godzilla versus the sea monster. There's nothing suspicious about Lecce Island unless you count the sea monster the size of a skyscraper. Very true. And the last one in the Kraken releases is Godzilla vs. Gigan, or as it's also known in America, Godzilla on Monster Island. Another one I really remember growing up and really liked. It's got a lot of stock footage in it, but I love it. I loved Gigan. I thought he was a really cool, memorable kaiju, and you know, it's just a really awesome movie. It's you know, I really like it a lot. It's just so it's another kind of stupid one, but really good fun. So what's the tagline on here? Another alien invasion, more giant monster battles. That's just how things are when you're Godzilla on Monster Island. Question: what's 65 meters tall, has a buzzsaw in its stomach and hooks for hands? Answer: Godzilla's not sure either, but he's gonna fight it in King Ghidorah anyway. Well, fair enough. Really nice looking releases, and again, they are all really reasonably priced. Really sort of good budget titles here. 3 classic movies, very green spines there as well, Dave, if you can see that, very green. But I'm just happy to have them at all in high def, and I hope there are more to follow, I really do. All awesome. I love the Showa era Godzilla films, they are fantastic. And then finally, that brings us on to the Sony releases, and Sony decided to release 4 separate Blu-rays with 2 double packs with 2 Godzilla movies, Heisei Millennium Either Godzillas on each one, so 8 movies in total. Strangely, they did miss out 3 of the films, the Millennium series ones, which I don't really know why. That I still haven't heard a real coherent explanation for why they haven't included Godzilla 2000, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, or Godzilla, Mothra and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. But since I no longer have those on DVD, I decided to buy the DVDs again just so I could watch them all in order. This is them here. I used to actually own Godzilla 2000 for years. I bought it back when it first came out, whatever that was, 2001 or something. But some asshole stole it from me, and it was never to be seen again. And I think it pissed me off so much I didn't even think about rebuying it up until now. But I really like this one. So you've got Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla, Mothra and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack, and that's a really good one as well. So these are the 3 that are missing. Maybe they'll be released at a later date, maybe they'll be released, many fans seem to think that maybe when the new Godzilla comes out on Blu-ray, these 3 will be released then to tie in with it. Hopefully Return of Godzilla will see a release at some point too, but that'll be later, I think, when the rights have, that whole rights issues have been sorted out. So yeah, you can get these on German Blu-ray, which I would happily do, but no English subs, so you know, if you speak German and Japanese, get those. On the other hand, you know, these are pretty cheap now, so I picked them up. So now I can finally re-watch all of these movies in order again. There's still a couple of Showa era ones that I no longer have, so I'll have to pick up. But I can watch the entire Millennium and Heisei era, with the exception of Godzilla 1985, aka Return of Godzilla. So here's the 3 DVDs here, really cool stuff, awesome movies. On to the Sony releases. So yeah, it's in order for everything after Godzilla vs. Biollante onwards. So first up there is Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and Godzilla vs. Mothra. These early ones are actually some of my favourites. I really like the Heisei era of Godzilla. I watched a lot of them when I was young as well. I prefer it to the Millennium series. And yeah, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah is one that I remember very fondly. I actually remember watching that on, I think it was New Year's Day. It was on with my mum and my sister, and we sat down and watched it and really enjoyed it. So I think, in all fairness, Sony have done a really good job in these Blu-rays on the whole. The artwork is really nice, got your digital copy in there. Inside, all movies are on 2 separate discs, so none of that cramming them onto the one disc rubbish. The artwork is really nice on the discs. You've got, you know, the restoration looks really good from what I can see. As I say, I'll be talking a bit about that later. But you've got, you know, the original Japanese audios, and I think they've got the Japanese and the, sorry, I'm babbling. Basically, they've done a really good job of these on the whole, and I'm really impressed with what I've been seeing. These 2 are really cool movies. Really like them a lot. And then they follow that up with Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 and Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. I know a lot of people don't like Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. I don't know why, I quite like it. I've got a cool t-shirt of it as well, using that artwork from the poster, which is really badass. These are fantastic movies. I just really enjoy all of them. And then that takes us on to the final Heisei era Godzilla, which is Godzilla vs. Destroyer and Godzilla, excuse me, and then we skip forward past 2000 onto Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. So it is out of order, which is irritating, but I'm going to try and look at the positives over the negatives. Yeah, same kind of stuff on all of them. Really nice job that Sony have done, in all fairness. I would like it if they released the rest of them, but what they have brought out, awesome. And then finally Godzilla Tokyo SOS and Godzilla Final Wars, which is sort of a love it and hate it one for fans, you know. There's a lot of bullshit in Final Wars, but there's some really cool moments in it as well, so I can see why some people would take it or leave it. You know, they've just done such a nice job in these. I'm really impressed with what I've seen. And again, the prices for them, they're all like around $10, $11 now, so these are definitely essential picking up. I mean, if you're thinking of dipping your toe into the world of Godzilla on Blu-ray and high def, definitely pick up these sets, or at least one of them. I mean, I hesitate to recommend one to you. They're all great. Maybe start with Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and Mothra, move on from there, but it's all good stuff, all a great price. Yeah, I'm really happy just to have any of these at all. And soon we've got finally, from Media Blasters, Godzilla vs. Megalon and Destroy All Monsters re-released. I already have that Blu-ray in July as well, so that'll be fantastic. They'll get those. And you've got tons of Godzilla in high def. It's just tons of it. Look at all this Godzilla. High definition Godzilla. Goodness, I'm so happy. I've got so much cool shit to watch. So much. My girlfriend is gonna hate me. She doesn't care about giant monster movies. Look at all that good shit there. You know, so regardless of what I think of the new movie, I've got all these to sit down and enjoy. And yeah, I'm really hoping that Sony, you know, decide to bring out the three other Heisei Millennium, sorry, three other movies they didn't bring out. That would be cool. Okay, I'm babbling now. On the whole, I would say, you know, these are all fairly sort of budget titles without reams of extras and stuff, but they're all worth checking out. If you're intrigued, definitely pick a couple of them up. I would definitely recommend a couple of the Godzilla movies. At least check out one of the Showa era ones, and check out a couple of the Millennium and Heisei ones as well. And enjoy everything that Godzilla and that whole wonderful universe has to offer. Great, great stuff. That's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm sure there's plenty more I can say about these movies, but I'm trying to keep it at least all semi-brief. So join me again soon for another Blu-ray update. There'll be one coming up very, very soon. It'll be a bit of a mega update with everything I've had in the past couple of months. Thank you for watching, and catch you later.